Salutations, boys and girls, and kiddos of all ages. I guess I should give a warning now that in this video of posing action figures with Toy the Poser, that would be me, Toy the Poser, I'm gonna be displaying or showcasing a large figure. Now, I'm not sure if it's considered a deluxe figure or not, because to be honest with you, I don't know what really classifies as a deluxe figure. Is it a action figure that's packaged with more stuff, as in accessories, than a other average figure? Or is it just a figure that's just bigger or comes with more plastic than the average figure? I honestly don't know. But the whole purpose of me saying all this is that it's going to be a big figure, and that means that the camera is going to be doing a lot of moving and shaking and, trying to pose or properly set it up. But best thing to do now is just go behind the camera in giant mode and show you exactly what I mean. Whoop, whoop. All right, and the giant figure that I'm talking about here is Dragon Man. And the other warning here is that I'm pretty sure he is not going to be able to fit on the rotating rotator. Even the box is extremely heavy. So but for you good people that like boxes and packaging and things of that nature, here you go. I get the both sides were the same. There's your barcode and words. Okay. Trying my best here to let the glare dodge everything. For if you want to read that, that box is heavy. And that there we are. Let's go ahead and magical poof him out of this so we can get the show on the road. I mean, they already let you know that I guess he's going to be 10 inches tall. I'm assuming they mean by the top of the wings, but who knows? Okay, guess we'll do all that sizing up if we can. Because, I think this will probably be the second largest figure I ever showcased on this channel. So, magical poof from out of here. So, magical, good God, the box is heavy. I can, I need to eat my spinach more often, but magical poof. All right. Yeah, trust me, it was that hard. But as you can see, this is gonna be awkward because I'm awkwardly behind the camera. And he's a big boy already. He comes with two sets of big boy wings. One's more open than the other. Why is it not? And I guess these are more closed. I don't know, but why aren't they pink or inside or like the other one? From my understanding, I think it's when they started doing this, it was like late on in the comic. I mean, so basically this makes them look more modern. That's just my theory of it, and this was kind of old school, but that's just my theory of it. I don't know. As you can see, he has two open grip hands, and it comes with two alternate fists. Okay, that I probably won't need to use because those open hands he comes with a book. All right, and spectacles he has glasses that fits on him. So I'm trying to see if I can show you without, as best I can. that I'm sorry. That's the best I can do right now. But yeah, because he's an intellect, and there's a reason why he's an intellect. Oh yeah, and a tail that obviously has a bendy wire in it, but I've noticed as of late that I don't know. The action figure community and all that has been begging for bendy wires and things like tails and stuff for years now. And when we get it, me and myself personally, not all too satisfied about it, because that's about as bendy as it gets, so I'll do it later, but we got to put all this stuff on, and because the camera is set up this way, I'm gonna have to magical poof him in a cold pose. Well, hold on. Let's try it. Let's just try it. Okay. All right. He's gonna be big, so he's gonna be close on the camera. But yeah. But like I said, this is why I don't do the whole full breakdown review and all of that jazz, because the other collectors do a much better job than me. They got better setups and all that, and I got a humble little setup going on here. Okay, let's try it this way. Starting from the head, okay, or this high up, we'll go. I guess. We'll start this high. Good gravy. Okay, we'll start up high. Okay, so gee, he is a big boy. I don't know. Ooh. And even when of course you're supposed to heat up your action figures before you pose them, because he's stiff, really. He has butterfly joints. But as I was saying, heat up your action figures before you pose them. But I think that's going to be quite the challenge for this guy. But I'm glad he got butterfly joints, because I want to make a little gripe or rant about butterfly joints. My thing is that I thought the whole point was, of course, to, so they can do. Oh, well, there you have it. That fist came right off. Hand came right off. So might as well show you that this fist his alternate fist can display it. But yeah, the whole point of the whole butterfly joint thing, and my thing, is that, of course, so they can get a better range of motion. Like, let's say if he wanted to hold a sword or something like that. However, they don't really do them. Sometimes they don't do them really well, because the arms don't fully cross over. But, I guess you got to work with what you got. But I do appreciate it when they do give you something, because, like, let's say that whole Maximum Hulk figure, one of the biggest thing that they try to, brag about feature of was that he can do the thunderclap now. And they had a rubber torso for him so he can be easily thunderclap. Well, my thing was that if you just, made better butterfly joints, he could clap his hands regardless. So, yeah. So, once again, I'm trying not to make this a rant video. So, his big bulbous head is for a reason too. when we get into all of that, we'll say, oh yeah, I forgot. I think his jaw articulates. Ah, it does. Okay, so he doesn't see. The thing was that when I see other people review this, their thing was that he's not able to look back far enough, so because he flies, so he can't, his head doesn't look back because of his big noggin. And I was gonna just, well, my thing was gonna try to say, hey, just put the hinge joint up so he could, but problem is that his hinge joint doesn't go back that far regardless. So I didn't know that till just now. So, oh yeah, there you have it. Now, when they claim that they can't make articulations, more, how do I want to say this? The range of motion of them can't do it. I'm like, look how wide he can spread those legs. So you mean to tell me you can't make a Spider-Man figure without charging us extra money, and so he can do basically full splits or whatever? So knock it off, Hasbro. Okay, but anyway, this is not the video. Toe articulation. Like I say, I don't know what classifies as a deluxe figure. Is it better articulation just because he's bigger than average or whatever? I don't know. I'm sorry. But my thing is that if that's the case, then just give them this all. Everybody should have toe articulations at this point now, and butterfly joints. And well, I was going and ab crunches and stuff like that. So he doesn't twist at the waist, but he only twists up here at the diaphragm. Okay. All right. And I'm showing you all this because I'm trying to put him in a cold pose or whatever. But since we back here, and as you can see, he has little ports for that. Go ahead and try to put his tail in. Hey, there we go. And yeah, so I mean, by the way it I'm about to say, by the way it looked inside, it doesn't look like this thing actually moves or articulate. So the whole point of it being a bendy wire was to, I guess, offshoot that. But the tail doesn't even go all the way down. See if I can adjust the camera real quick. Show you what I mean. You see that? That's pretty much. Let me see if I can get more bend in my bendy wire tail. I mean, you really have to. Yeah, like. I mean, let me see. That's about as good as I can get him to do it. Who knows it? Who knows what happens if I heat it up a little more? But that's about it. Okay. So okay. And wings. I'm gonna put one of each in. Okay, so I'm gonna put the pink wing in on this side and the other wing in on this side. Just to show you in the form of comparison of what it should or shouldn't look like or whatever. And it does make him heavy, and I mean, I guess you can use that tail as a kickstand in this regards, but as I said before, it's not really How about that? Okay. Let me see if I can get you guys some more action because I'm trying to showcase the wings here. But that I'm sorry. That's the best I can do. Let me see. Hold on. And there he is. All right. One side is closed. The other side is supposed to be open. Yeah, that's it. So let's bring in the monitor and give you guys some update of who Dragon Man is. So wait, I almost forgot to show you that about the book that he can hold. And although I think this book has like a little indent on it, I don't know if you can see it well or not, but I'm assuming that's supposed to be how he's supposed to place it in his hand or whatever, but who knows where he can grip it. But I got a funny feeling that is not the case here. Where's the other alternate hand? Oh, it fell on the floor somewhere. All right, I got a funny feeling nope, I was wrong. That doesn't help him hold it any better. I thought it did, but because I do remember seeing other channels, saying that, okay, well, he holds the book upside down, but no, that's not the case here. Or maybe I just got yeah. See, that's another gripe of mine when they make accessories like this or whatever, because this little book thing has been is a reuse from other things. Like I forget which figure come in. 9 times 10 is probably either Doctor Doom or Mr. Fantastic or something like that, or Doctor Strange or something. But yeah, so when they keep trying to reuse things like this, and then they don't really make it so it can fit the character they don't have, because it's just wobbling in there. I mean, so whatever, we'll get to that later. And I got a funny feeling he's not going to be able to go on a rotating rotator, so we're going to try to put those spectacles on. And my goodness, I mean, I'm pretty sure because of my hands placement. Yeah, I just lost it. It's, well, the good thing about this is that I don't have a carpet monster because I have hardwood flooring, so I just need to find out where it bounced to before I vacuum. So, all right, moving on. Up. Found them. Okay, it was really grinding my gears that I couldn't get him to hold the book. So basically what I did was just like wedged it in between fingers and, sort of be a little more secure. It may not look like natural for how a person would hold a book, but yeah, at least he's holding it with his hand, whatever. But it was really bothering me. So anyway, Eureka. All right, as in the words of Chet, success. I actually found a pose that I put him in that accents his, characteristics to some degree. All right. All right. So now it's time to try to fit the monitor in this. So let's do that. Yeah, that wasn't easy at all. Okay, but as you can see, the physical characteristics of Dragon Man here. And yeah, if you didn't know yet, he is a robot. But the height says he's 15 feet and 3 inches. And so if he is, like the box said, 10 inches tall, then he's actually shorter than what he's supposed to be. All right, but who is this Dragon Man? Well, he is, or was, created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. First appeared in the Fantastic Four, issue 35 in 1964. Dragon Man was a cybernetic robot creature created by a scientist by the name of Grayson Gilbert. Now, because of the, I guess, death of his entire family, Professor Gilbert created Dragon Man out of basically loneliness, I guess you could say. Because Dragon Man basically didn't have any technical purpose at the time when Professor Gilbert created him, because he technically had the, as they say, the intelligent capacity of like a pet dog. But that actual characteristic trait didn't come to like much later, because when Professor Gilbert created Dragon Man, he couldn't bring him to life until a man by the name of Esteban Carrianzo Diablo. And I am not going to try to attempt to say his real name again, so we're just going to call him Diablo from this point on. And in a nutshell, Diablo is a man that was born in like the 19th century, and he became an alchemist in his later years. Well, while combining the knowledge of alchemy and science together, Diablo, and I guess you can say the professor, was able to bring Dragon Man to life. But it was all a part of Diablo's plan to turn the android Dragon Man into his own little pawn to fight his enemies, the Fantastic Four. But during that first battle, Dragon Man kind of, I guess, fell in love, or I don't know, took a liking because he was an android. Somehow had feelings for the female member of the Fantastic Four, Invisible Woman, Sue Richards. So Dragon Man kidnapped Invisible Girl, because I think I said Invisible Woman just now, kidnapped her and took her away, flew away with her, and which left the other members, the Human Torch, Mr. Fantastic, and the Thing, to, I guess, make chase and go after him. And when they finally caught up to them, Diablo was there awaiting them with Dragon Man, and they had this big battle that pretty much led into a standstill. But Diablo tried to take Dragon Man and escape. So, but while they was trying to escape through I think it's called Dead Man's Lake or whatever. But while he was trying to escape, Diablo froze the water, but Dragon Man was still too heavy to cross the water, even though I think he was supposed to be able to fly, but that's neither here nor there. But somehow they fell through the icy water and froze to death. And I don't think they actually froze to death or anything like that. They just, I basically just got swept away in the current or something like that. But yeah, and they was presumed dead. So Diablo and Draconis, and which I like to give out their real name as much as possible. So yeah, they were just presumed dead at that point in time until much later they came back And Dragon Man was basically has been used as a pawn or an ally or a tool, a weapon for many other villains in ways that he was used to fight other superheroes and even the Fantastic Four again. Until years later, Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Girl got married and had kids, and the youngest of them was their daughter, Valeria Richards. So who becomes like a really high intellect, kind of like her father and stuff like that. So during one point in time in the story, she came in contact with Dragon Man, the android Dragon Man, and basically gave him an upgrade with the help of her mother, but gave him an upgrade and made Dragonus an intellectual being. All right. So basically, yeah, she basically turned the android Dragon Man into a much smarter and intelligent creature. And to this point, or to this day now, Dragon Man fights along or is in school with the young team of, I guess, mutants, or well, not mutants, but calls Valeria and whatever they call themselves the Future Foundation. Okay. Basically, the Future Foundation was an idea formed by Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards' way of grouping together the Earth's youngest and brightest team of intellects, I guess, to basically in the future helps solve the world's problems. And the smarter, more docile Dragon Man is a part of that group. So technically that was the whole reason I wanted to explain that part of Dragon Man's origin story, because yeah, since they gave him, glasses and a book, you're gonna wonder why he has glasses and a book to read. But that's why he's a smart guy now and all that stuff. Anyway, but I also want to add into this because once again, here's a situation where the power grid that they actually show doesn't really make sense to me, because along with other attributes, stuff like that, like one of the main things is that they say since Dragon Man is now more intelligent, they got him labeled as a, at 1, and usually ones are not smart. They don't really say how smart Dragon Man is now, but I know when he first started, as I said earlier, they pretty much put his intelligent level at like the I guess the intellectual level of a dog. so yeah, but now he's of course a lot, because of the Valeria Richards upgrade, he's a lot smarter than that. All right. So along with things like superhuman strength, Dragon Man can lift up to like 100 tons, and even his tail, which is supposed to be like 7 feet long, so like that, Dragon Man can whip it at the speeds of up to like 130 feet per second. So, and the force of it, can smash like a 3-foot thick stone wall. along with superhuman stamina and, of course, superhuman durability. Why not? And, of course, he can fly. The whole point of the wings, that's his wings supposed to be like 35 feet from tip to tip. He can fly at a maximum speed of 30 miles per hour. That doesn't seem fast to me, but he can fly as high as 1,800 feet in the air, so 1,800 feet in the air, and he can breathe fire. And he Dragon Man basically has a weakness to I guess, what do you want to say, high frequencies that can pretty much paralyze him and jam his mental capabilities or something like that. So there. Okay, time to size him up. Whoop. Representing a 1/18 scale action figure size, we have the Viacom Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Michelangelo. Whoop. Representing the average 1/12 scale action figure size, we have Hasbro's Stan Lee. Coming in at approximately around about 6 inches tall. Whoop. And representing the 1/10 scale action figure size, we have McFarlane Toys Batman, The Dark Knight Returns Batman action figure. I think it's DC Direct Batman action figure, whatever. He's 7 inches tall. The average 10-inch action figure size. So which means that, as you can see, Giant Man, Dragon Man is, of course, extremely taller than everybody, as he should be, but he is, bring in the ruler, a whopping, got it upside down, boo. And because I can't really get it beside him, I think that is 10.5 inches. Okay, so yeah, that's I'm judging by the top of the head, so 10.5 inches. Okay, so basically the back of the box was correct in the sense of it depends on which tip or point you count. I'm counting from like the silhouette of him, the tip top of his head that curves up. That's around at the halfway mark of 10 inches. All right, but I think if you count right at like the point of the ears, if that's the line that you're going by, that is around 10 inches. Anyway, whoop, whoop, whoop. And there you, man, you guys are far away, but I know why. Here, let's get the big guy up out of here. Thanks for stopping by, Dragonus. See you around, big guy. Whoop. Okay, you guys can come in a little closer now. So, yeah. All right. All right, that's it for this video, guys. So, as my mother would say, if you ain't got nothing else to do, don't just sit there. Go somewhere and play. See you in the next video. Bye for now.